Hello everybody, this is Martin Rutherford. I'm the how-to guru. You're looking at my giant. I think he's about 24 feet tall because right here is the top of his head, and if you follow all the way down to his elbow, that's 8 feet. From here, the back of his head, to the front of his head is 6 feet. He had a damage, looks like he got a broken skull back here. He's got a broken jaw, and I found his teeth loose. This is his teeth. I know people are going to be hard to believe, it looks like a rock. No, this ain't a rock. This is a tooth. He's got big teeth. He's a big boy. So right around here is his nut. This is his eyeball socket. Right here. I know people are going to be, oh, you. Just, I want to try to teach everybody how to determine what they got. When they see a stone, they'll be able to look at it and say, hey, that's a finger, or that's a toe, or that's a whatever. Anyway, I didn't want to do too much digging right here yet. You can see the yellow, well, it's in the shade, but there's yellow dirt being blood. His nose bled out. He's probably got a nose right in here somewhere, I'm sure. Everything's intact. When I move the dirt, there's clay, and as long as I don't tear the clay up, he stays put. You know, the pieces stay put. When I come around here, these just like fell out. Boom. So I got to think, well, his jaw's busted. This don't look normal to me. This whole thing. This would be the back of his jaw. Right here. His neck is right here. I got a lot of digging to do, as you can see. But his neck's right here, and this is his shoulder. And you can punch him in the shoulder. Now, look how big his arm is. I got a bunch of rocks. I just threw them there. But look how big his arm is. When you come around, there's his elbow all busted up. See, all these were in place, and they started to fall out of place. So I quit digging on the clay. So I knew he had a fracture. I got this over here. I'm not really sure what that is. It's a bone. You can see where it broke off, but I don't know if that has anything to do with, maybe it goes down here. I don't know, if I'm leaving that there for now. His muscle, this is his skin. The clay is his meat, your flesh. And the flesh, which is now the clay, is holding everything in place. See that little bone right there? That bone, if I take that clay away, that bone's just going to fall. I've got all kinds of pebbles everywhere because I was in a hurry and I didn't realize. Oh, look down here. There's another. It's loose. So that's a part of it, another piece of his elbow. This guy was brutally beat. You figure he's smashed in the back of the head. If I get the right angle, you can kind of see how it slopes down. It's a big head. His head's 6 foot across. See right here? This looks like busted bones to me. And this is caved in. Okay. This is one, I'm real new at doing this stuff. But see, then there's another bone here, sticking up, sharp. His head got smashed. I think I have a battlefield here because I've already found 3 giants. And there's a lot of this black stuff, which is blood. A lot of this stuff coming off everywhere. So you can see he was smashed. He got into a fight. I don't know if they hit him. He got hit with a club or a sword. Who knows? But if I'm hoping he has a sword in his hand. That would be awesome to find a giant sword. Anyway, his head's busted. His brains are probably showing right there. But it's all clay, so I don't want to dig that out. That could be his brain. This is his jaw, and I can wiggle it some. So see, it'll move. So I know that'll come out of place, and I don't want to lose that. I want to keep him just like he was. When I'm done digging him, you'll be able to see the whole man just as he died. His eyeball, I don't know if it's in here or not. I don't really want to dig in here anymore if I can help it. I'm going to dig more this way, come in from the other way. He could have a clay nose laying there, I don't know. But he's a big dude. this is what I found sticking out of the ground right here. And I looked at that. I was looking at this area, and I'm like, that looks like a bone. That looks like a leg or an arm. So I started digging on it, and I started going up this way, and I didn't really know if I had a hand up there or not. So I came back down this way, and I got to this, so I figured, well, this is either elbow or some kind of ankle. Then I started going this way, and then I had this shape here, and I'm like, that ain't a foot. See that shape? If that's a foot, that's a funky looking foot. So I said, let me see if his hand's up here. So I come up here, as you can see, this is his wrist. His hand starts right here. See, see his bones? They're all in the right place. I didn't let them fall out. I was digging further up here, which would be more in the middle of his hand. You know, maybe he has fat hands or whatever, but I was digging a lot of the clay, and a lot of little pieces were coming out. I'm like, man, he's got a lot of bones in his hand. But I think his hand is shattered because it dips. If you look, you can see let me go down a little bit, you can see. I'm not sure if that's going to show, but it looks to me like this is busted. Otherwise, I think the bones would have been up here, but it drops down. I don't know. Maybe it's normal when you take your, I don't know yet. I got to wait till I see more what happens. We're going to learn as we go on this. I'm going to use as much sense as I can with it and try to help you guys out. But up here, I got up to this area, and that's a bone there, and I thought, that might be a finger, and that could be a finger, and that could be a finger, and I'm thinking, here's another, here's a bone, that's going to be another finger, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go, wait a minute, his hand goes way over here, he's got another, maybe he has another finger, and then a thumb over in here, because his hand is like laying like this. So this is going to be the thumb area. And see this bone here? And it just drops down, and it's not hooked to nothing. See, I made a mistake and took too much out. But I wanted that to stay there. So I found these, which look like fingers. I don't know if that's a tip, but these are fingers, I believe. And they were in this area here. So I don't know what they're doing there, unless he broke something. They broke his fingers back or something. I don't know what's going on. And so I get this totally dug out. I could really use some help. I'm about ready to go bankrupt, but I'm trying to, well, as you see, I'm trying to get him dug up, but I got to spend more time on my home business. But anyway, quite a ways over here. He's 8 feet from there to here. So I'm thinking normally a person is 2 feet from there to there. So he's 4 times bigger. So a 6-foot man times 4 is 24. So I'm thinking he's going to be 24 feet, give or take a little. But anyway, my other video I said wrist. I meant to say waist. His waist is probably down in here somewhere. And then his legs can come on down in here, and he's probably got a foot. I got to measure off later. I'll measure off 24 feet and start digging maybe and see if I can find his foot right there. I don't know which way his legs go. I don't know how it, of course I don't know nothing about him until I dig him up. But this is exciting. See that? Let me zoom in on it. See that little bit sticking out? That's his forearm. He's a Popeye. He's got some powerful looking arms. But that's all that was sticking up. Just that little bit was showing. I would have never found him. But the other day, about 3 days ago, I was telling you in my other video, I was up here digging. I was wanting to level off this spot. I had to take dirt from that area and put it over here to build this up. So I have a bigger flat spot for a trailer. And I took a few scoops and I saw fingers. Ooh, here's another. Oh, that's a backbone. See that? That's a backbone. That come out of here. This is his back. this is his body. I don't know what bone. I don't know if that's a hip bone. I don't know where his head is or shoulders or anything, but this is a body. And this is clay right here. So I don't want to go no deeper than that. And see the bone? And his backbone is right here. See how that is? See how the dirt, you can get the dirt out of the way, and then there's clay. That's clay right there. So that's his meat. That's a part of his back. The fat or the muscle or whatever on the back of his. So this guy's all intact because this is virgin ground. So however he died, he laid there, his skin turned to clay, and his bones turned to rock. And I've got a full giant, complete giant. Except for I just broke his, I think in case you didn't see my other video, I popped this, I broke his backbone. This was on there somehow or another. Oh, I'm not sure how, oh, see I just broke it again. That might be the in-between cushions that your back has. You know what I mean? But see, right there. So I don't know if that goes. That can't go that way because I just broke that one off. So it has to go like that. I guess the vertebrae go down. I don't know. I gotta look at a skeleton thing again and see. Because I don't know what's that for that stupid thing. Sticker bush. I don't know if they come, your backbone thing comes down, but I know the back has a pointy, your vertebrae has that point in the rear. They come up from behind them. But I don't know if it points up or points down, so I need to go to a chiropractor and look at his thing. I know a chiropractor in town. If I tell him I got a giant, I might get his interest. But see how, I don't know if it goes like that, it's down, down. I don't know if they aim down. See, that's a shorter one, and why they're different. Shortnesses and thicknesses. But say you put it down like this, and then you got that cushion in between. I wish I hadn't busted that out, but when I get over there further up, I'm going to be real careful and look and see how the backbone is designed, and see if it's clay in between, which it probably will be clay. I got this here. I thought that was a finger. I'm still not really sure what this is. It could be a finger. It broke off back here. But I've got a mess here. This looks like a finger to me. It almost looks like a fingernail right there. Does it to you guys? If it is a finger, it'll have an artery. See, it's still full of dirt. It'll have the artery blowout right there. I have one finger that's got even fingerprints I found in my creek. My creek is down here, and it is full of body parts. Everything from little babies to giants. I got these little baby feet where they don't have no toes. We call them no toes. Oh man, see the parts everywhere. This is from the giant over there, so it looks like a backbone. That's probably the backbone. It's been broken, I think. I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it looks like a backbone. But it's not really protruding, so I don't know what part of the body that's in. See, it looks like a bone. See the texture? It's the sun. Hope the sun's not bothering. You see that texture? It's flat here, and it's flat here. So that might not be a backbone. The backbone should have been flat either here or here. It could be the end of a backbone or the beginning of one. I don't know. But they dug this septic. I wanted to dig it myself, but we had to let them do it because all the permits and everything. So we let them dig it. I wasn't here. When I got back home, they were already done. And see, someone will say, "Oh, that's just a rock." No, that might be a little fingertip. But see, it's all bloody. So the guy was like in a major fight. And they probably beat on him when once he was down. They probably kept on chopping at him until he's in a puddle of blood. But I've got to redig all this if I want this guy. And he's scattered. I got a lot of low spots. I had water come down on the heavy rains and started washing this dirt away. And in a way it's good, and in a way it's not. I might find more of his parts. See, that's a bone. I don't know what to. But that's what we'll learn. As I'm taking the other guy out of the ground, well, I'm going to leave him in the ground, but as I take his dirt away, and you can see his clay and his pieces, we can learn what different parts look like in the fossil stage. I don't think anybody's ever done that before. So it's something that I want to do. I want to do something different. I wish I had a go dig. You just got to be careful when you put the shovel into the ground. If you feel it hit a rock, you got to back up a little bit and then cock the shovel. Because if you go down and you hit the rock and you pull on, you're liable to pull a bone right out of place. But I can teach anybody if they want. I can teach them how to be careful. See, his bone's right here, and it's like, what's that, about 6 inches down? Hope I didn't destroy him. Anyway, I'll dig out with a shovel. I'll go this way first, you know, and see what happens, and then come down this way. And if you bring your shovel down and hit the bone, you want to back it up, and then because you hit it, you don't know if you're gonna, pop that sucker off. Well, I think that's probably about the end of the thing. I think they only allow you 10 minutes, and I don't know how long I've been doing this, but as you can see, I've got quite a bit of acreage here, and this could have been a major battlefield back 4,000 years ago. If I find a sword in his hand down here in this guy, if he's got a sword, which our history, they always claim that they didn't know how to make anything like that. It would have been made out of iron, and it would have just rusted all out or whatever. Shoot, they probably make better swords than we could make today. Who knows? But if he's got a sword, I took the metal detector and I scanned it, but it was telling me I had coins and steel and aluminum, and it was just going crazy on me. It wouldn't pinpoint nothing for me. It was going wacky, so I just shut it off. I did find a piece of metal down there from a tractor, a thing with a hay baler or something. But ooh, it's hot out here. If I find a sword, then when you add up the damages that he's got and a sword in his hand, that there was a war here. And I had no idea what they were fighting for. But my theory is, and you can talk to me if you want about it, but my theory is, if he would have just been buried, his body would have turned to just a bone. His flesh would have rotted, the worms would have got him, all that. But he, I think, got killed, and then the world was flooded, and the salt water preserved him. And the chemical reaction after you're soaked in salt water, with the electrons in the air and the sun beating down and all that good stuff, you get a chemical reaction going, and your bones turn to rock, and parts of your flesh turns to rock, I guess, and clay and all these different stuff. So I believe that he had a battle, and probably within a few days of dying, the world was flooded, and it pickled him, preserved him. Because otherwise, I would be digging up bones. Nothing but bones. It wouldn't be in the stage it's in. This is from salt water. This is effects of salt water. And the only way you can have salt water on a mountain, let me show you a view right here. Let's see my mountain. See, I'm on a mountain. I know people won't believe me, but he's really big. I can't get up high enough to get a good look. But you can see my finger. That's the back of his head, the top of his head, his forehead, and his eye. That's his eye socket right there. And then down here is his nose would be right in here. And then his mouth is like here, and there's his jaw, broken in pieces. And I don't know if I showed you yet, because the camera wasn't working the first time I tried this, but this is his eye socket. And this would be your cheekbone kind of thing going on. And then your nose, you know your nose goes down past your eyes, so his nose is like probably over here. And that's why I'm seeing this other clay. And I don't want to dig that up because I might get to that and his nose might be in form of clay. And if it is, man, that's going to be awesome to show all that. How often do you find a giant that's in perfect condition in clay, sealed in his own flesh? You know, he didn't rot, he was pickled. If he would have rotted, it would have been bones. So he was definitely a victim of the salt water. But I think it was the second time. I do believe there's no way that he could be laying. My best to keep him intact. And we'll learn as we go on what all the parts look like. So when you see a part, you'll say, hey, that's an elbow, or that's a knuckle, or that's a finger, or that's a liver, or heart, whatever. I don't know if we're even going to get into his internals because he's probably totally sealed up like that other one. But we'll see what happens. So stay tuned. Bye.